Hi guys, we are going to be doing practice and homework 6.1 where we are going to be working with equivalent fractions. Remember equivalent fractions, you multiply or divide the top and bottom by any number to get another fraction that's equal to it. So we're going to be looking at a couple of pictures. So if you guys look at this top picture, it shows that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces shaded in. So then they said that 4, 6 is equal to 2/3. So let's go ahead and we're going to start on number 2. So actually first we need to write our name along with our 6.1, please. So we're going to number 2. Number 2 says we have 3 out of 4 pieces. To get an equivalent fraction, you can multiply or divide the top and bottom by any number. So most of us enjoy multiplying. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom. And this time I'm going to pick 2. So 3 times 2 gives us 6. And 4 times 2 gives us 8. So 3/4 is equivalent or equal to 6/8. Let's try number 3. We're going to be comparing them with an equal sign or a non-equal sign. So we have our 8 out of 10 compared to our 4 out of 5. Now, we have learned a few different tricks on how to compare fractions. You guys can think of me like squatting and then throwing my hands up into a weird X, or we can look at them and try to figure out, how do I get from a 5 to a 10? I do 5 times 2 gives me 10. Whatever I do on the bottom, I also have to do on the top. So 4 times 2 gives me 8. So 8/10 is equivalent to 4/5. If you guys did cross multiplication, you would have done 10 times 4 gives you 40, and 5 times 8 gives you 40, so that you know that they're equivalent. Let's check out number 4. We have 1/2 compared to 7/12. This time we have 3 ways that we can complete this. We can think about what is half of 12. We can think, how do we get from 2 to 12? Or you can cross multiply. So I'm going to do it all 3 ways. So I think in my head, 2 times what gives me 12? 2 times 6 gives me 12. Whatever I do on the bottom, I also have to do on the top. So 1 times 6 does not give me my 7. So this is not equal. I could also think, what is half of 12? And I can think that half of 12 is 6. So 1/2 of 12 equals 6 out of 12. Or I could do my cross multiplication. 2 times 7 is 14. 12 times 1 is 12. So there you even know which one is bigger. 1/2 is less than 7/12. Let's try out number 5. We have 3/4 compared to 8/12. So let's first think, how do I get from 4 to 12? Sorry, I'm trying to make it clearer. So 4 times 3 gives me 12 times 3. Whatever I do on the bottom, I do on the top. 3 times 3 gives me 9. So I know that these are not equal. I could also do the cross multiplication. 12 times 3 is 36. 4 times 8 is 32. Let's move on to number 6. 2 thirds compared to 4 6. I can do it with whatever I multiply on the bottom, I multiply on the top. So 3 times something gives me 6. 3 times 2 gives me 6. Whatever I do on the bottom, I do on the top. 2 times 2 equals 4. We could also do that cross multiplication. 3 times 4 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12. You guys see how much work that I have on this paper? So you guys also need to have some sort of work. You cannot just have the equals and not equals sign. Let's check out 7. Jamal finishes 5/6 of his homework. Margaret finishes 3/4 of her homework, and Steve finishes 10/12 of his homework. Which two students finish the same amount? So let's compare. Our first fraction is 5/6 compared to 3/4. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. So if we're looking at that, I have to think, how do I get from 6 to 4 or 4 to 6? I cannot multiply it by anything. So I already know that these are not equal to each other. So let's check out our 5/6 compared to our 10/12. How do I get from 6 to 12? I can multiply by 2. How do I get, whatever I do on the bottom, I do on the top. So I multiply by 2. And those two are equal. So 5/6 and 10/12. So 5/6 is Jamal. And 10/12 is Steve. Okay. Number 8. Sophia's vegetable garden is divided into 12 equal sections. So we have Sophia's vegetable garden and it's divided into 12 equal sections. So that tells us our denominator is 12. She plants carrots in 8 of the sections. Write 2 fractions that are equivalent to my 8/12. So whatever I do the top, I do the bottom. So 8 times, let's say 2, and 12 times 2. 8 times 2 gives me my 16. 12 times 2 gives me my 24. And I always like to come back to my original fraction because if for some reason I made a mistake and I multiplied wrong and I keep building off of my new fraction, they're all going to be wrong. So we've already multiplied by 2, so let's just do number 3. Now you can choose any number you want. We just tend to choose the numbers that are easier so we don't have any mistakes. So 8 times 3 is 24, and 12 times 3 is 36. Last problem, 9. Draw a model to show a fraction that's equivalent to 1/3. So 9. I'm going to draw a model. So I'm going to do a circle, and it's almost like a peace symbol. And obviously I'm a human, so my pieces are not perfect, but we try. So that one is equal to 1/3. They also wanted a model that is not equivalent to that 1/3. So we could do 1/4. And that is not equivalent. Not equal to 1/3. When you guys are done with this, please make sure you take a picture and send it to me. Thank you.